Kakelgeto took a deep breath. The human trader was slowly walking down the street, greeting the other sentients left and right, even when the imposing biped towered over them. Feeling his heart's racing, Kakelgeto stepped out from his little shop.
Fellow trader, I wonder if I can impose on your time.
The human paused. Bright eyes behind a pair of slightly opaque lenses took the young Lilfid in briefly, before the lower half of the human face opened in a wide smile. Kakelgeto started to shudder, then relaxed. The smile, he recalled, was a sign of human happiness. Young Kakelgeto, isn't it? Dealer in, used electronics and information. Mostly information, yes? What can I do for you today? Kakelgeto looked up, trying to make his mouth mimic the human expression. He was sure he had not talked to this human before, yet his name was known. Part of the mystery he hoped to unravel.
Fellow trader, I seek, understanding.
Call me Josh, Kakal. Can I call you Kakal? Walk with me around the market and we'll talk. Part of Kakelgeto's mind wanted to say no. His name was part of him. But the human seemed so genuine, so friendly. Clearly no insult was meant. Kakelgeto turned and quickly locked up his little shop, then hurried up to the human's side. The human started walking again at an easy, slow pace.
Friend Josh, I am trying to understand why humans can travel so easily. How humans are welcomed everywhere. How you can trade with all sides in a conflict.
The human looked at him, the soft skin around the corners of the human eyes crinkling slightly, as the human made a nod, ha-ha, sound. Kakal, you know the answer. Humans are welcome everywhere, because humans are friends with everyone. We've never started any wars, we never haggle over prices, we never deliver less than we promise. We are, in short, peaceful.
And yet you are Deathworlders and Carnivores. What is known of human pre-FTL history is dominated by strife. Humanity breaks the mold of fellow friend Josh.
The human seemed to consider what Kakelgeto had said, as a path seemed to open in front of them in the busy street. It is no secret that... The human was interrupted by a Lugsy youngling darting after a ball in front of them. Chuckling, the human caught the child and raised it in the air, tossing it up slightly and catching it gently again. Careful there, young, Saki. Yes, Saki. Offspring of Konal. Running into the street can be dangerous. The human lowered the youngling onto the street again. Your broodmother probably worries over you, Soki. You should go home. One day you'll be a mighty warrior. But today is not that day. The young Lugsy stared up at the human, mouths agape, then turned and scurried away, disappearing into the throng. Ah, kids. As I was saying, Kakal, there is no secret that humanity has a checkered past. But can we not improve? Must we always be monsters? Kakelgeto considered what the human had said in silence, as the pair slowly walked through the business district.
Friend Josh, how come you knew the youngling's name? Knowing the names of the traders I can understand, but...
The human smiled and gingerly tapped the side of the lenses covering his eyes. Some free information for you to trade, Kakal. Human smart glasses are tied to the hyperweb, because it is useful to know the names of new friends, the wares a city needs, the social mores of friendly species, or what a fellow trader can offer. Kakelgeto found his head dipping forward, mimicking the human body language for agreement.
So you found the information on the hyperweb, but...
Friend Kakal, a youngling listens when a stranger knows his name, just like a trader listens when a stranger offers a good deal. Kakelgeto thought hard for a heartbeat.
It is the deals, is it not? You're welcome everywhere because humans always offer good deals.
Humans never ask for more than you can afford, Kakal. Most of the time, you can't afford not to take up a human offer. The human paused for a second, accepting a gift of fruit from a vendor in one of the many small stalls. Humanity offers friendship and the opportunity to prosper to everyone, friend Kakal. And luckily for humanity, most other races are eager to accept. Kakalghetto walked in silence as the human ate the fruit, other vendors casting sidelong glances at the one who had offered the gift. Friend Kakal, it is in everyone's interest to be welcoming to humans. It is in everyone's interest to trade with us. It is in everyone's interest to keep the peace. The human stopped and smiled at Kakalghetto again. Looking around, Kakalghetto realized they had come back to his little shop. Kakalghetto, remember when I said humans never started a war? That we never haggle? That we never deliver less than promised?
Yes, and it is true, but...
Kakalghetto, humans like being peaceful, so we end wars, without the negotiations about terms and conditions. And when we end wars, we always deliver a final end to hostilities. Do you understand? Kakalghetto thought hard, then mimicked a human nod again. He shrank slightly as he turned to unlock his little shop again. The human peered into the semi-darkness of the little business. Nice little shop you've got here, friend Kakal. Would be a shame if something were to happen to it. Kakalghetto looked up from the screen of his terminal, wondering about the message that had just appeared. Today, J was all it said. His eyes swiveled towards the sound that had caught his attention. Standing in the doorway was a human, shorter than the friendly one, and much darker of skin.
Good day, fellow trader.
Kakal, don't you recognize a friend?
Friend Josh? You, have changed.
The human smiled. The opaque glasses reflected Kakalghetto's look of doubt back at him. I bought a new jacket, friend Kakal. Come, walk with me around the market. Kakalghetto hesitated for a second, then mimicked a human nod. Following the human closely, he stepped out of his little shop. Other traders and shopkeepers nearby glanced towards the pair, before returning their attention to their business. Business has been good, friend Kakal? It was phrased as a question, but sounded like a statement.
Yes, friend Josh. Business has been very good.
Business had been surprisingly good, Kakalghetto thought. First, there had been the large shipment of barely used electronics that no one else had bid on. Later, there had been the Yomai ship overpaying him for information on the Hubward colonies. And just yesterday, Kakalghetto had...
Say again, friend Josh. I was reminiscing.
I said, friend Kakal, you need to get out of your shop more often. Walk about. Listen to other traders. Be seen. Kakalghetto bobbed his head in the human fashion.
That's good advice, friend Josh, but I must keep an eye on...
Deals will come to you, Kakal. You're a friend of a human, and that means people want to be your friend too. Go out, be seen. The fresh air will do you good. The pair walked in silence for a while. Friend Kakal, the human said after a while, why have you not sold what I told you about human smart glasses yet? Kakalghetto was taken aback by the sudden question. Why hadn't he sold it? It was given freely and would have netted a profit, even if sold cheap. Kakalghetto pondered for a few fluttering heartbeats.
Friend Josh, it seemed to me that it would cost too much to sell.
The human nodded, smiling. And I would have known if you did. A good choice, friend Kakal. Josh paused near the fruit stalls. One of the sellers, a different one than last time, scurried over and presented Josh with 2 large wahuni fruits. Josh took one, then inclined his head towards Kakalghetto. Go ahead, friend Kakal. Cackleghetto wrapped his manipulating tendrils around the fruit. It was ripe, juicy, and would normally have cost him a day's profit. He bit into the soft fruit shamefully, devouring it as he walked next to Josh. "Tomorrow," Josh said as he tossed his half-eaten fruit into a waste receptacle, "you will accept a gift from a different seller. No reason to favor one. Yet." Cackleghetto found himself nodding like a human again. If others were willing to offer him gifts, what was the harm in that? "Business has been good, friend Cacal," Josh said as they stopped outside Cackleghetto's shop again. "And we want that to continue. Right, friend Cacal?"
Yes, friend Josh. It benefits all."
"It does, friend Cacal. So, if you on your daily walks meet, see, or hear about someone who isn't friendly, you will let me know. Right, friend Cacal? To keep business good, and between friends." Cackleghetto thought for a second as he licked the fruit juice off his face with his prehensile tongue.
"Yes, friend Josh. I will. To keep good business between friends."
"Splendid, friend Cacal. After all, business would get a lot worse if people were no longer friends."